In the dark expanse of space, a small alien ship glided silently. The crew, made up of curious explorers from the planet Xantor, had always dreamed of discovering something extraordinary. Captain Jorak led his team with excitement as they scanned the nearby star systems. Their mission was to explore the unknown, but they never expected to find what lay ahead. As they approached a blue-green planet, the ship's sensors beeped loudly. "Captain, look at this!" cried Zira, the ship's navigator. Jorak leaned closer to the display screen, his heart racing. The sensors detected something massive hidden beneath the clouds of the planet. It was a fleet, an entire armada of ships. "Are those spaceships?" Jorak asked, his voice filled with disbelief. The ships were unlike anything they had seen before. They shimmered in shades of silver and blue, appearing both ancient and powerful. The crew stared in awe as the fleet floated silently, as if waiting for something or someone. "Prepare for a closer look," Jorak commanded, excitement bubbling in his chest. The ship descended through the atmosphere, and soon the crew could see the fleet clearly. It was huge, with hundreds of vessels lined up in formation. Each ship had intricate designs, with symbols that hinted at a rich history. The aliens were astonished. Who could have built this? Zira wondered aloud, her eyes wide. And why is it here, abandoned? As they hovered above the fleet, Jorak ordered the ship's scanners to analyze the vessels. The data streamed in, revealing that these ships were incredibly advanced. They were made from a material that was both strong and lightweight, perfect for space travel. Jorak could hardly believe his eyes. "Look at this!" shouted Grok, the engineer, pointing at the readings. "The energy sources are still active. These ships could fly again." The crew exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and caution filling the air. What had happened to the beings who once commanded this fleet? Where were they now? Suddenly, the ship's systems began to beep rapidly. "Captain, we're picking up a signal," Zira announced. It was weak but unmistakable, a transmission from one of the ships. Jorak's heart raced. Could it be a message from the past? He ordered the crew to tune into the signal. As the static cleared, a voice crackled through the speakers. "Earth, we will protect. Humanity's legacy." The message was fragmented, but it was clear these ships belonged to humans. The crew was stunned. Earth was a name spoken in ancient tales, but it was thought to be lost forever. "Humans vanished," Jorak muttered, trying to comprehend the implications. What happened to them? The crew sat in silence, contemplating the weight of their discovery. Zira broke the silence. "If these ships are here, maybe there's still something of humans left. We must learn more!" Her determination sparked a fire in the hearts of her teammates. "Let's wake them up," Grok suggested eagerly. "If the ships can still work, we might unlock secrets of a civilization that was powerful and wise." Jorak nodded, feeling a surge of hope. "We need to approach carefully. We don't know what we're dealing with, but we must find out." The ship descended further, closer to the fleet. The crew prepared to scan the ships for power sources and systems. The excitement in the air was electric, but fear lurked just beneath the surface. What if these ships held dangers they could not predict? As they got closer, the shapes of the vessels grew clearer. They were majestic, each one telling a story of strength and bravery. The crew could almost feel the echoes of the past as they gazed upon the fleet. What kind of battles had these ships seen? What did it mean for them now? Captain Jorak felt a mix of wonder and responsibility. They had discovered something extraordinary, a treasure from a time long gone. But the truth about the humans and their fleet remained a mystery. As they hovered above the powerful ships, the crew knew they were about to embark on a journey that would change everything. With newfound determination, they began their mission to uncover the secrets of the fleet, eager to learn the fate of the humans who had vanished so many years ago. Little did they know, their discovery would set off a chain of events that would awaken not just the ships, but the legacy of humanity itself. As the alien ship hovered above the massive fleet, the crew buzzed with excitement. Captain Jorak felt the weight of their discovery pressing down on him. They had found something incredible, an entire fleet of ships from a race known as humans. But what did that mean? What had happened to them? "Let's start scanning the ships," Jorak instructed. "We need to gather as much information as we can." Zira, the navigator, quickly adjusted the ship's sensors to focus on the nearest vessel. The crew watched intently as data streamed in. "Look at these readings," Zira exclaimed, her eyes wide. "The ships have advanced technology that we've never seen before. They're equipped with powerful weapons and shields." The crew exchanged glances, their excitement growing. "Can you access any records?" Jorak asked, eager to learn more about the humans. Zira nodded, working quickly at her console. After a moment, she smiled. "I'm pulling up their history." "It's incredible!" The screen flickered to life, showing images and text. The crew gasped as they saw pictures of vibrant cities, green landscapes, and diverse cultures. Humans had lived on a beautiful planet filled with life. They built amazing structures and created art that expressed their deepest feelings. "Wow," Grok said, leaning closer. "Look at this." Humans had music, stories, and games. They were creative and emotional. The crew watched as videos played showing humans laughing, dancing, and celebrating together. But what happened to them? Zira wondered, scrolling through the records. The mood shifted as they came across darker chapters of human history. The screen displayed images of conflict, destruction, and war. The crew felt a pang of sadness. "Humans were fierce fighters," Jorak said, his voice solemn. "But they also fought against each other." Zira nodded, scrolling further. "It seems they faced great challenges from within and outside their world. They were nearly wiped out by a terrible war." The crew was silent, absorbing the weight of the information. Jorak realized that the humans had a complicated story, a mix of creativity, courage, and conflict. He felt a strange sense of respect for them. Just then, Zira's screen lit up with new data. "Captain, I found something. It looks like they created a fleet to protect themselves. They knew their world was in danger." The crew leaned in closer, intrigued. They developed advanced ships, each designed for defense and exploration. They wanted to safeguard their legacy, Zira explained. The images on the screen shifted to show the fleet in action, battling against formidable enemies. "Fascinating," Grok said, his eyes wide. "They didn't just build these ships for themselves. They wanted to protect what they loved." Suddenly, a new message appeared on the screen. It was a final transmission from a human leader. The crew listened intently as the voice echoed through the ship. "We will not be forgotten. Our spirit lives on through our creations and our dreams. Protect our legacy." The voice was filled with emotion, and the crew felt a chill run down their spines. "That's why the fleet is here," Jorak said quietly. "It's a reminder of who they were. They wanted to ensure that their legacy would endure." The crew exchanged glances, their hearts heavy with understanding. They had stumbled upon something much greater than a simple fleet of ships. They had discovered the remnants of a civilization that had fought to protect its essence. "What do we do now?" Zira asked, her voice filled with determination. Jorak took a deep breath, considering their next steps. "We must awaken the fleet. We have to find out if there is still life here, if there are any humans left, or if their legacy is truly gone." As they prepared to take action, Jorak felt a sense of responsibility. They had discovered something precious. The crew wasn't just explorers anymore. They were now guardians of a story that needed to be told. With renewed purpose, the crew of the Xantorian ship worked together to devise a plan. They would delve deeper into the mysteries of humanity, awakening the fleet to honor the legacy of those who had come before them. The journey was just beginning, and they were determined to uncover the truth behind the vanished humans and their extraordinary fleet. The atmosphere inside the alien ship buzzed with anticipation as Captain Jorak and his crew prepared to awaken the ancient fleet. They had discovered a remarkable legacy left by the humans, and now it was time to see if the ships could still be brought to life. The crew gathered around the main console, their eyes filled with determination. "Are we ready?" Jorak asked, looking at his team. Zira nodded, her fingers hovering over the control panel. "I've accessed the fleet systems. If we input the right codes, we might be able to wake them up." Grok stood nearby, his heart racing. "Let's do it! This could be amazing!" Zira took a deep breath and began typing furiously on her console. The screen lit up with complex data and glowing symbols. As she worked, the tension in the room grew. Jorak could feel the excitement mixing with nerves. Would the ships respond? "Okay, I'm sending the activation signal now," Zira announced. She pressed a button and the ship shuddered slightly. A moment later, the fleet's lights began to flicker. The crew watched in awe as the ships slowly came to life, their engines humming with power. Suddenly, the nearest ship responded with a deep, resonating sound. The crew felt vibrations beneath their feet. "It's working!" Grok shouted, unable to contain his excitement. The lights on the ships pulsed rhythmically, creating a beautiful display against the backdrop of space. "Keep going, Zira!" Jorak encouraged. "We need to wake them all!" Zira nodded and continued her work, inputting command codes. One by one, the ships began to awaken, each one responding with a distinct hum and flickering lights. The crew felt a mix of joy and disbelief as they witnessed the ancient fleet coming back to life. As the last ship activated, a powerful voice boomed through the ship's speakers. "Unauthorized access detected. Identify yourself." The crew exchanged nervous glances. Jorak stepped forward. "This is Captain Jorak of the Xantorian ship. We come in peace. We mean no harm." The voice paused, and the crew held their breath. "Identify your intentions regarding the fleet." Jorak took a moment to gather his thoughts. "We seek to understand the legacy of humanity and protect what is left of it. We want to learn from you." There was a long silence before the voice responded. Legacy acknowledged. "Proceed with caution." The crew felt a wave of relief wash over them. They had earned a chance to communicate. Zira turned to Jorak, her eyes wide with excitement. "We did it! The fleet is awake, and they're willing to talk." Jorak smiled, feeling a surge of pride. "Now we need to find out what we can do together." Suddenly, the main screen displayed a holographic map of the fleet. Each ship was marked, showing its status and capabilities. "Captain, look at this!" Zira exclaimed. "We can see the entire fleet's layout. They have different types of ships, some for defense, others for exploration." "Let's begin with the command ship," Jorak suggested. "They will have the most information and control over the fleet." Zira nodded and initiated a communication link with the command ship. Moments later, a holographic figure materialized before them. It was a human-like shape made of shimmering light. "I am the AI of the command ship. I have been dormant for centuries. What is your purpose?" Jorak stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. "We are explorers from Xantor. We discovered your fleet and wish to learn from you. We want to understand what happened to humanity and why this fleet exists." The AI regarded them silently for a moment before responding. "Humans sought to protect their legacy. This fleet was created to safeguard Earth and its people. However, the threat that forced humanity to flee remains. You must be cautious." The crew listened intently, absorbing every word. "What threat?" Zira asked, her voice trembling with curiosity. The AI's holographic form flickered as it displayed images of dark ships and looming shadows. Enemies of humanity still lurk in the universe. They sought to destroy all traces of Earth. We are the last defense. Jorak felt a chill run down his spine. The stakes were higher than he had imagined. "We will help you protect this legacy," he promised, determination filling his voice. "Together we can face whatever threats lie ahead." The AI nodded, acknowledging their commitment. "Very well. Prepare to learn the ways of the fleet. The legacy of humanity shall not be forgotten." As the crew exchanged excited glances, they realized they were about to embark on a journey unlike any other. They had awakened a powerful fleet and forged a connection with the legacy of humanity. Now, they were ready to face the challenges that awaited them together. The atmosphere on the alien ship was electric with excitement and tension. Captain Jorak stood at the center of the control room, surrounded by his crew. They had just awakened the ancient fleet, and now they were ready to learn more about the humans who had created it. The AI of the command ship had promised to share important knowledge about humanity's past. "Are you ready?" Jorak asked, looking at Zira and Grok. Both nodded, their faces filled with anticipation. Zira was already working on the console, preparing to receive the AI's message. The crew could feel the weight of history pressing down on them. The AI's holographic form flickered back to life. "I will transmit a message recorded long ago," it said, its voice steady and calm. As the AI began to play the recording, the room filled with a soft glow. The image of a human leader appeared, standing in front of a vast, starry background. She looked determined but also deeply sad. "If you are seeing this," she began, "it means our civilization has fallen, but our spirit lives on." The crew watched, captivated. The leader spoke of the beauty of Earth, describing lush forests, oceans teeming with life, and cities filled with laughter. "We were a species full of hope and dreams," she continued. "We built great things, but we also made mistakes. Our greatest enemy was ourselves." Zira gasped as the leader spoke of wars and conflicts that tore humanity apart. "We fought over power, resources, and beliefs. In the end, it was our own division that led to our downfall." The crew felt a deep sadness as they realized the truth behind her words. "But we did not give up," the leader said, her voice rising with passion. "We worked together to create this fleet. It was meant to be our shield against outside threats. We believed that if we could protect our legacy, humanity would one day return. Grok clenched his fists, feeling the weight of her words. They fought to protect what they loved, he whispered, awestruck. The leader continued, sharing stories of bravery and sacrifice. We faced an enemy that wanted to erase us from existence. They hunted us across the stars. Many brave souls gave their lives to keep Earth safe. This fleet was our last hope. The crew listened intently, their emotions mixed with admiration and sorrow. Jorak felt a sense of responsibility. They had found a way to honor these fallen heroes. The leader's image shifted to show the fleet in action, its ships soaring through the cosmos, defending Earth against dark, menacing vessels. "Remember us," the leader said, her eyes filled with determination. "Protect this fleet and the legacy of humanity. We fought not just for ourselves, but for the future. Our story must continue." As the message ended, the holographic image faded away. The room fell silent as the crew absorbed what they had just witnessed. Jorak felt a surge of purpose. "We must carry on their legacy," he said, his voice firm. "This fleet is not just machinery. It is a testament to human strength and spirit." Zira nodded, her eyes shining with resolve. "We can learn from their mistakes. We can ensure that humanity's story is not lost." Grok stepped forward, his expression serious. "But we must also prepare for the enemy they spoke of. They are still out there, and we must be ready to face them." Jorak agreed. "We need to train and understand how this fleet operates. If we are to protect this legacy, we must be prepared for anything." With renewed determination, the crew set to work. They began training with the fleet's AI, learning how to navigate the ships, operate their advanced systems, and understand their weaponry. Each day brought new challenges, but they embraced them, knowing they were fighting for a noble cause. As they delved deeper into the fleet's capabilities, the crew felt a connection to the humans who had come before them. They were not just explorers anymore, they were guardians of a legacy, and together they would ensure that humanity's story would continue to be told, no matter the challenges that lay ahead. The crew of the Xantorian ship had transformed over the weeks. They had trained hard, mastering the ancient technology of the human fleet. Captain Jorak felt a deep connection to the legacy they were now protecting. The mission was no longer just about discovery, it was about survival. They had to prepare for the threats that the human leader had warned them about. One day, as they finished their training session, Zira looked up from her console, her face bright with excitement. "Captain, I've been analyzing the fleet's communication systems. I believe we can send a message to other friendly ships in the area. We need allies if we're going to face the enemy." Jorak's eyes sparkled with determination. "That's a great idea, Zira. If we can unite forces, we can strengthen our position. Let's do it." The crew quickly gathered around Zira's console as she began to craft a message. "Attention all ships in the vicinity. This is Captain Jorak of the Xantorian vessel. We have awakened the ancient fleet of humanity and are preparing to defend our legacy. We invite all allies to join us in this cause. Together we can stand against the threat that looms over us." Once the message was ready, Zira sent it out, her fingers trembling with anticipation. The crew waited, their hearts pounding. Would anyone respond?